Sebastian, tell them what they're watching. Yeah!
Welcome back, everyone, to Popcorn Culture Podcast for popcorn, soda pop, popular media, and other popping things. We get our popcorn from our local store, Poppin' on Main. If you're in the Quincy area with us, be sure to check them out. Here they're getting more popular. The popcorn flavors we got today. Okay, I got the birthday cake. Apparently, last month there was a lot of demand for the birthday cake flavor, so they mixed in some other sweet flavors with it to dilute it a bit. So we got a bit of a mulligan stew of birthday cake popcorn here. And, okay, here we got cheddar. And, okay, this episode was on hold for, a week or 2
weeks.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks and we're sick, so I don't remember what this flavor is. It was 3 words. One of them was ale. So it's beer popcorn and 2 other things. I don't.
Butterbeer.
Yeah, I don't really remember. And
we're just gonna call that one Russian roulette, since
Sure.
it could be anything.
it could be anything. Yes.
Mystery flavor.
Yep. And our soda flavor this time is root beer, which I figured was appropriate since there's kind of we got a southern kind of motif to our movie to this time. And okay.
I was going to take it from you.
And do my spiel here. Okay, with the the history of this film. This month's movie was one that Mason threw into the hat. Walk Hard: The Dewey Cox Story. Directed by Jake Kasdan and written by Kasdan and co-producer Judd Apatow, this 2007 comedy veers away from Apatow's usual frat pack humor to keenly lampoon Oscar bait musical biopics. Primarily Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash biopic starring Joaquin Phoenix. And though I haven't seen Ray, the Ray Charles movie starring Jamie Foxx, I definitely detected a bit of Ray Charles DNA in the Dewey Cox Story.
Yeah, there definitely was.
Mm-hmm. The film features a soundtrack of legitimately well-written songs, most of which aren't inherently silly. The silliness comes from exposing the tropes of musical biopics, a lampooning that Hollywood apparently learned nothing from, as those same tropes were skewered 15 years later in Weird the Al Yankovic Story. John C. Reilly stars as Dewey Cox, a fictional early rock and roll star with no sense of smell.
He's gone smell blind.
Don't smell
Yeah. The cast also includes Kristen Wiig as Dewey's first wife, Edith, Jenna Fisher as his second wife and duet partner, Darlene Madison, with the singing voice of Andrea Correa, Raymond J. Barry as Dewey's pa, Margot Martindale, some call her character actress Margot Martindale, as Dewey's ma, Tim Meadows as Dewey's drummer Sam, Chris Parnell as his bass player Theo, Matt Besser as his backing guitarist Dave, and a veritable who's who of crazy cameos from all sorts of comedic actors of the time, including some uncredited surprise guests as the ghost of Dewey's brother, and 4 particularly unconvincing Beatles. We'll probably bring up a few in our discussion, but I won't spoil any here in my visual aids section.
We will say this, if you can think of someone who was on primetime on NBC in 2007, they were probably in this movie.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm just getting the popcorn part. There we go. Yeah. This movie is very fun and enjoyable. I have to say that right off the start.
Yeah.
I ended up coming across this movie completely by accident in 2008. We were still going to video stores back then. We hadn't gotten Netflix just yet.
Yeah.
And we were looking for something fun to watch, my family. And, it's like, we liked Talladega Nights. This guy from, Talladega Nights, we didn't know his name was John C. Reilly at the time. It's like, this guy's funny. Let's see what this is about. And my family loved the movie. I fell in love with it. This was the movie that made me realize just how insanely talented John C. Reilly is. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize until after this movie he was an Oscar nominee for Chicago. I knew he was in it. I didn't realize he got an Oscar nomination.
For it, yeah.
He is one of those people who is so much more talented than most of the time the roles he takes would indicate.
Yeah, I mean, he was, before Talladega Nights, he was a very serious dramatic actor.
Well, and I mean, most people these days only really know him as Dr. Steve Brule from Tim and Eric, which he is so much more than that even. And so if you want an example of everything he can do as a guitar player, as a singer, as a comedic actor, this is the movie I point to where it's like, this is how you use your John C. Reilly correctly.
Yeah, he did his own guitar playing.
And it kills me, myself included. I didn't know this movie existed, so it bombed at the box office, and it had no right to. It is just that hysterically good.
Yes.
And I try and make sure everyone knows about this, so when a couple of years ago you were telling me about the Weird Al biopic, and, you know, I knew what it was kind of doing, it's like, do yourself a favor, watch Walk Hard, because it is kind of the precursor to that idea of a self-aware satirizing of the musical biopic. And I'm glad I finally got to share it with these two, because I really enjoyed this movie, and I really enjoy turning people into this movie and making them discover just how funny this movie can be.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, it's definitely a jewel, like this movie is, because it's very triple threat how he is a good singer, which I never knew he was a good singer for a long time. He doesn't look like a good singer. Sorry to judge that part of it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Still getting over that chest congestion. But just the music in it's phenomenal. I love all the tropes that they have in it too, of the comedic side of it. I love all the actors in it. They're all very good in what they do. And just the story process of it's very, like we've been talking about, very Weird Al. And I just watched the Weird Al movie recently, and they both are very similar in their goofiness.
Yes, they are.
And it's just, there's just such a good time with it. I was trying to say good air, but can you have good air with a movie?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Yes.
Good vibes. Good
Vibes,
vibes. All good
vibes,
vibes. But yeah, it's just the story of it. And I love how it begins of him having a moment right before he goes on stage. And that whole scene of where he has to zone himself up. And it was...
Think back on his whole life.
Exactly.
And he does think back on literally his whole life.
Since the very
As
beginning.
biopics do, instead of a plot, it's a person's whole life,
Right.
right? And not always structured like a proper movie. Yeah, it's done very, very well. Okay, this beer flavor, it's a sweet flavor. I didn't expect that. The ale flavor, but it's still...
This, you said it's cheddar. It reminds me of like breakfast food for some reason. I don't know why. It's very mapley and biscuit tasting. But it's still good though. But I love how we go through his whole life process of the movie and going through it all. And
Played by John C. Reilly from the ages of 14 to 71.
Yes, there's only one instance in this movie where John C. Reilly does not play Dewey Cox, and that's when Dewey's like 7 and is actually played by a child actor.
Yeah.
Which is probably as good a place as any to talk about the beginning where this movie starts.
Yep.
And it starts a flashback when he is a small boy living in rural somewhere in the South. And he and his extremely awesomely talented gonna be president and do
Astronaut.
everything astronaut, concert pianist, brother Nate, and he decide, life's great, and it's great that we're so young and have our whole lives, so let's go play.
Yeah.
And after engaging in a series of extremely unsafe and dangerous things, like playing catch with a rattlesnake or playing chicken with a horse and a tractor,
Yeah.
it isn't until they decide to play sword fighting with machetes where Dewey accidentally, and I do mean accidentally,
Literally.
bisects his brother with a machete.
And the moment of that afterwards, of where the brother's still alive, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine, Dewey.
I'm cutting half pretty bad.
I'm cutting half pretty bad." And I love the theatricalness of the. You could tell the kid's half buried in the ground, and it's very good though, because you can. It's like you don't know for sure, but maybe they did.
For the sake of the visual gag, it really does work.
Yeah.
But this is where Dewey's entire mandate for his life is to be double great for both he and his brother Nate, who he accidentally killed.
Yeah.
is actually a reference to that of Elvis. Elvis had a stillborn twin, and so he always felt compelled to succeed, not just for him, but for his twin brother who didn't get a chance to live the life he did.
Yeah. Which, there's a lot of references of different people in different countries throughout the entire movie like that.
Yes, in fact, you actually see some of them. Played, again, pretty terribly.
They deliberately miscast every real celebrity who appears in the film.
Yes, exactly.
And they just repeat over and over. It's Jack White of the White Stripes playing Elvis, and he repeatedly says, "I'm Elvis, I'm the king."
Yeah,
if you can understand that it's Muslim, look out now!
Comes with the karate chop. I'm the king.
Yes. Or Buddy Holly being played by Frankie Muniz, and looking absolutely tiny next to John C. Reilly.
Yeah, because he is just a tall character. Or, not character.
John C. Reilly is a
person.
pretty tall person, and Frankie Muniz is a pretty not tall person, so the contrast is actually pretty hilarious.
Yeah. And it's just great. And I forget who played the dad of Dewey Cox and his brother, but I love the statement of every time Dewey is seen by his father goes, "The wrong kid died!"
Yeah, and then the mom will say, "Stop that before you say something you'll regret, like the wrong kid died!"
Late in the movie, you hear that he even hums that to himself when he's just doing stuff.
He sings "The Wrong Kid Died" over and over. It really is funny, and again, it goes back to these musical biopics of really overhyping the drama of someone dying. So it's like Dewey goes smell blind, where he can't smell anything through the trauma, which they say is what caused Ray Charles to lose his eyesight.
They say in the movie it's not really a thing.
Yeah, I know.
That happened to Ray. Yeah, not really a thing.
That's what happened in the movie,
right? Yeah.
Or like, for example, Margot Martindale, his mom, saying, "I'm so proud of what you accomplished, even with no sense of smell. I learned how to play by ear."
Yeah. Like you need your nose to play guitar.
Yeah. Or one of my favorite musical biopics that they absolutely nailed. So after Nate is killed, they send Dewey down to the general store to buy a candle, to light a candle for Nate, because they're going to light a candle tonight.
Yeah.
And he hears two old men playing blues in the corner. And it's like, that music's so sad. Well, what does an 8-year-old boy know about the blues? I reckon I might know something. So they give him the guitar. He has one bad attempt, and after that, he's immediately perfect.
Just going down, up and down the whole guitar.
And he has this gruff blues voice as an 8-year-old as soon as he starts singing. And again, that is so common in biopics. It's like, no one... Johnny Cash never had to practice. He picked up a guitar, he already knew how to play.
Exactly. But I love the whole aspect of the deep voice coming out of a child like a demon is speaking through it.
Which goes great with the next thing, where it flashes forward to when he's a 14-year-old in high school, and he's played by John C. Reilly in his mid-40s.
Here's my favorite 14-year-old son.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And he's surrounded by actual teenagers in his band, so it looks even more out of place. Again, another cliche. We're going to be pointing out a lot of cliches that they did a great job parodying.
But it's such a good movie, and like
I mean, even Weird had a teen Weird Al actor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I was gonna say that the CGI that they used for it, like to put I don't know if they did that. His face on any like a younger body.
No, it was just him.
It was just him.
Yeah,
Dang,
it was him the whole time.
They did a good job.
They did. I will admit, as the movie goes on and Dewey gets older, the makeup team did a really, really good, convincing job of making some of those actors look older than they were. It's pretty obvious, though, that, at the time, John C. Reilly was not a 73-year-old man by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But again, for what the movie is, they did a good job of, the age makeup, at least.
Yeah.
Which is also common in a lot of biopics.
Oh, yeah, because as he, we're not going to spoil the end yet, but as he gets older, you can really tell the age makeup that they add, the prosthetics.
Yeah, and it's...
on every character.
It's more sincere at that point.
Yeah.
They're not...
But it's
making fun of it so much.
Still, the whole movie is still just super fun. It feels like you're going on a ride the whole time. And it's from where he's begins to decide to go with his girlfriend and start playing music. Cause
his 12-year-old girlfriend, played by Kristen Wiig in her 30s.
Yeah. And they even keep saying that.
Well, and then they make the joke, it's like, I'm your girlfriend? Of course, I pointed at you during the song.
It makes you my girlfriend. And then, like, the whole love that they fall into, and then he's like, she's fully committed to him. He's like, I believe in everything you do. And then, like, a year later, after having 2 kids somehow,
I think I'm doing pretty good for a 15-year-old with a wife and a baby.
Yeah. She's like, I think you need to give up on your dream. And this is the most terrible thing you've ever come up with.
Yeah.
She's like, you were supposed to be with me the whole time.
Edith, I have to go after my dream. What about my dream? I told you, I can't make you a candy house. It'll never work. It will if it doesn't rain. And that's just it. Throughout the entirety of his first marriage with Edith, she always tells him, "You're never gonna make it," even after he has a number 1 single.
Making it. Yeah.
Even after he has a number 1 single, a house, and a giraffe.
Yeah.
She still keeps saying, "You're never gonna make it."
Oh my god. And it's just that goofiness throughout the whole movie, the whole time. It's wonderful.
And every time we check in, he keeps having more and more children.
Yeah. Like, how does he keep coming and just having more children? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You have to wonder how faithful she was in the process.
Well, they do, during the last song, they do indicate that perhaps she is cheating on him.
Yeah. Because I think, isn't she like a different colored baby at one point?
During Beautiful Ride, yeah.
She's got a young lover at the very, very end.
Yeah, but they also lead you to believe she may be cheating on him, as he is definitely cheating on her. So,
but I love the aspect of the singer going through and finding drugs, and one of his I forget the actor's name. Sam.
Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows.
He always finds Sam in the bathroom doing some form of drug, and
you don't want no part of this shit.
You want no part of this shit.
And then Dewey's like, I don't think I should do it, and then he lists all the reasons why it's tempting, and then says you don't want it.
Yeah, and he like gets the marijuana, and he's like, what does it do to me? Do I get hungry? Oh, you'll get hungry. It makes food delicious. Well, what about sex? What does it do? Oh, it makes sex great.
I don't want to get addicted to it.
It's not addicting. It's marijuana.
I don't want to OD on it.
You can't OD on it.
Is it expensive?
Not at all.
It's the cheapest drug there is. Trust me, Dewey. You don't want no part of it.
He's like,
I think I do.
I think I do.
Okay, just this one time.
And it's like that with every drug throughout the whole movie. He goes through
until
cocaine.
the very, very end, where it's erectile dysfunction medicine. Yes, every single time he does more and more drugs, while Sam lists all the wonderful things about him and then tells him, you don't want it.
And then he finally, you know what? I don't want that. That ain't me anymore, Sam.
Yeah. And again, that is also a cliche of every single musical biopic. And yes, a lot of those musicians did struggle with, drug abuse, obviously. But the way that films dramatize it to such a ridiculous extent is just what makes it so hilarious, because it's all following on the same narrative tropes.
Oh, and like all the tropes to it, going through it, it's super funny to see. And just as he goes through and ages, you get like Neil Young, you definitely get Johnny Cash going through it. You get a bunch of different styles of different like country singers of that time.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments is when he realizes that people are being treated badly, and he more or less turns into Bob Dylan. It's like, well, why do your songs sound so much like Bob Dylan? Well, how come nobody asked Bob Dylan why he sounds so much like Dewey Cox? And then he sings a song about, like, searchlights in the birth canals of the Coliseum, raccoon ant farms, oh say can you see them?
Total word salad.
It's like, do you know what this word is? Man, you guys are stupid. This song is deep.
It gets so deep.
And yes, Bob Dylan did have some, let's call them creative lyrics, but he usually did have a point to theirs. Dewey's does not.
He just went on, he was like the rambling man.
And that's the point. That is the point. And that's why this movie works as well. And not just the movie, the songs. The songs absolutely work too.
And like, if you didn't, if there were no good songs in this, which I'm glad there is, this movie would definitely, I feel like, would have tanked like it did in the other ones.
Sadly, the movie did tank.
Well, I
We
know,
saw
but
it in
the
theaters.
songs, though.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't
so
work if
good.
the songs weren't really hype, you know?
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. Well, and again, it's not just that they're funny or that they work. They are very well written and well performed.
Yes.
That is the thing that honestly separates this from most satires and parodies. You honestly could believe that some of these songs may have actually existed at one point, and that's what I think makes it so much fun to keep watching.
And like you said, he learned to play the guitar for this. I don't know
No,
about
he
for
already,
this, but
he
he
already knew
it,
how to play the guitar.
So
yeah.
those years of him coming through with his knowledge of that just helped excel the movie even better.
Yep.
yeah. Chris Parnell and Tim Meadows, they had to fake it, but John C. Reilly, he was really playing.
He knew what he did. He knew what he was doing. And it just, it's such a, like, I keep saying that, it's such a good movie, because it is.
Yeah.
But
it's quality. It's like, you know, they took it's like they had the crew of a really serious biopic and they just aimed the camera at some very funny people.
Yep. Now, that said, there are a couple of things about this movie that in hindsight have not aged super well. The biggest being the entertainment industry professionals who are all dressed like Hasidic Orthodox Jews.
yeah.
Oh, that wasn't cool then. That was
I'm not saying it was cool then. What I'm saying is people were more willing to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
no
it was cool
backlash.
then, but nowadays especially people are not going to attempt that.
Yeah.
They would then, not today. And that's one aspect of the movie that does not... that really shows its age, I should say. So, yeah, that is one thing I personally think we could do without when it comes to this movie. That being said, it does lead to a couple of funny jokes when it comes to Dewey recording his first single and the engineer saying, "Not only have you disrespected music, but I have lost all faith in the Jewish people. I love nothing more than to restore your faith in Judaism right now, sir."
And then he plays the song, the Walk Hard song.
Yes.
But also another warning is there's a lot of nudity in this movie as well.
There is, yes, particularly in one scene after a particularly fun night with
Right after it does marijuana.
yeah.
And also, that's another thing I could have done without, was that one scene where his friend just walks right in front of him with his wiener, right in the scene.
Nah.
So
that is one part of the movie that did just feel gratuitous.
Very
for the sake
gratuitous.
of absolutely serving nothing.
there is a scene where he's cheating on his wife, but he's having sex with a woman, and she's like, "Are you enjoying this?" He's like, "Oh, I forgot you were even here." And he had sunglasses while he was in bed.
That was the montage after his wife finds out. Not only did he cheat on her, he got double married to his new duet partner, Darlene. And as a result, his first marriage completely dissolves.
And then he said, "I'm guilty as charged." And he starts thinking about that. Don't you start writing a song?
Yes, throughout the entire movie, whenever Dewey wants to write a song, he says something, and then he looks off in the camera wistfully and says, "La da da da." He'll actually the melody and the title will immediately come to him.
Yeah.
During his spiral, or as they say in the middle of the montage, that was early Dewey. This is middle Dewey.
But I love the song that they have with the duet, the Darlene song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only song that's actually kind of a silly song.
Yes, let's duet.
Yeah.
It's essentially nothing but double entendres.
And not subtle ones.
No.
They're right in your face. Yeah.
All the while, they're doing a bunch of incredibly suggestive activities.
And I love how they're always like, "We must hold out, we have to hold out," and then finally at the end they just let loose completely.
They get married first. He marries her. So he goes, it's the right thing. Because nobody told him you can't marry two people.
But there is some gratuitous nudity that doesn't serve anything. Now, we didn't watch this version, but I told them there is actually an extended cut of this movie that actually is close to like another 40 minutes in length. And it's all throughout the 1970s period of his career where he's stagnating, where where it focuses a lot more on like the drug abuse, the disastrous marriage to Cheryl Tiegs, who actually plays herself in the movie, and just all these things going on in the 70s, but doesn't really go anywhere. And reflecting on it, there's a reason why I recommend people don't watch the extended version. It's not bad, but it is very self-indulgent and goes on much longer than it has any right to be.
It doesn't really add much to them.
Not, with the exception of an extended cameo of Cheryl Tiegs and a couple of 70s guest stars, no, not really.
And I heard that overall that the extended version makes Dewey come up a bit more like a jerk instead of being hapless.
Yeah, although Dewey is a jerk for a fair portion of this film, but yeah, it really gets amped up in the extended version. So I will say this, if you're looking for it, just watch the theatrical cut. I mean, if you want to watch extended...
Watch the theatrical first.
Yeah, watch the theatrical first. I think you'll get more out of it that way.
Yeah. Which I 100% agree with you. Mm-hmm. I've never watched the extended cut.
The only other thing the extended cut really adds is it does actually extend some of the musical sequences, and
that's nice.
I mean, I do appreciate that. The musical sequences are great. If you can, I definitely recommend you listen to the album on Spotify or wherever you get your music. Listen to the soundtrack, because the soundtrack really is that good. Yeah. But with the exception of extending those musical sequences and an extended sequence in the 70s, I really don't think it adds much. But, you know, some people might like it.
Yeah, like the director's cut of Lord of the Rings. You don't need to watch it, but some people really enjoy the extra stuff in it. Yeah. But still, though, this
is not a lore that needs to breathe.
Exactly.
It's a fake folk rock singer who didn't even exist.
Yeah. But I love towards the end, since we're kind of working our way down, I love towards the end that Dewey does reconcile with his father over a game of machete fighting.
Well, it's not a game. His father has been preparing his entire life to kill Dewey in a machete battle.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We should probably give a little context. What happens is, after Dewey goes through like his third stint in rehab and Darlene leaves him, and he's even more alienated from his children, he's in a bathtub hooked up to electrodes, and the ghost of his brother Nate, played by Jonah Hill, no less,
uncredited Jonah Hill,
comes to him and says, you know, get your shit together and start by making amends with the one person who's always made you feel like crap. Yeah. So he goes to his dad to reconcile, only for his dad to try and kill him in a machete battle.
Yeah. I was saying,
what it results in is that his dad realizes for the first time just how easy it is to accidentally bisect someone with a machete.
Yeah, we should point out Dewey didn't actually do it this time. His dad missed and accidentally, you know, came around and cut himself in half, and that's where he's like, I didn't realize until now, like I said, how easy. And it's like, don't talk that way, Dan. This is the 70s. We have all kinds of technology to sew tops to bottoms. Of course, it doesn't work, but yeah.
And I did jump the gun a little bit. The reason why his dad was also more furious at him is because at some point they were about to reconcile, because his mom got his dad to more on the soft side of it. They started dancing. They started having fun. And then his mom tripped
over the cord for the radio, fell out the second story.
But she still survived.
And then the radio comes down and crushes her head.
Yep. And that
Dewey's music killed his mom.
Yep. That puts the dad over the edge, and that's when he goes into, I gotta kill my son mode.
The wrong kid died.
Love that. That's my favorite scene throughout. Wrong kid died.
So, yeah, it's
a good movie.
It's phenomenal. It really is.
I keep picturing Toby Huss, but no, Toby Huss played Mr. Yankovic. He
played
Yankovic's dad. Yeah. But it's basically the same character.
Honestly, if you put those two actors side by side, they are similar to each other.
Similar character types,
but also because it's like the dad with like the thin white hair that's very short. Very laborist type. We earn our money through labor type, and so it's very similar. It's one loses his hand, the other one loses his lower half.
Yep. So it's definitely a well-constructed movie, not just in the sense that it's making fun of all of these stereotypes, but it also pays homage to the things that did influence the music. I personally am a fan of what I consider to be one of the funniest jokes is when he's in the 60s and he's talking about all these things changing, and Darlene says, "You're right, the 60s are definitely an exciting and revolutionary time for us." And he says, "There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly obvious."
Oh, I love that.
Or the drop of Charlie Manson also hanging around Dewey,
Dewey.
apparently.
Well, yeah, because that was another thing. We talked about it before of the fake Beatles coming in. Jack Black,
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, Justin Long, and
Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, they're the Beatles.
They come in and playing the Beatles to help Dewey through his time of
and they are all really, really cartoonish impersonations.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, I'm the leader of the Beatles.
I'm the leader of the Beatles. Yes, Dewey. There's no limit to what we can imagine. He looks into the camera.
And Ringo says, "I'm writing a song about an octopus," which is, I just love that detail. I like that song, Octopus's Garden, and it's one of the only songs that just Ringo wrote.
Which he gets so much shit for, but yet it's still a good song.
Well, that's because George had to help him out a lot on it. Trust me, I know way more about the Beatles just because I'm so freaking obsessed with their careers.
Off screen, you got a yellow submarine over there.
I do have a yellow submarine Lego set. That's how much I love the Beatles. And as a result, I really, really do love this moment. Dewey goes to the Maharishi in India and hangs out with them. And
you've done LSD before there,
yeah. It's like, "Dewey, you want to drop some LSD with us? I gotta go check with the old ball and chain." And she's like, "As long as you promise it's just going to be this one time, let's go drop acid with the Beatles." And so his LSD trip turns into a parody of the Yellow Submarine cartoon. Yeah. "Welcome to your LSD trip where everything's a chippy cartoon."
A cartoon? And he's like, "Oh, make sure you just don't have a bad thoughts during your trip. Oh, it's going to be bad for you, though, Dewey."
Bad trip.
And then he has a bad trip because he's starting to think of his father and his mom.
A walking machete cuts him in half.
Oh, no, Dewey, you're having yourself a bad trip. It's involving all of us.
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong, Dewey? I think I have some deep-seated inner demons, and they're all coming in from like the top and the bottom, all kinds of different angles. "Do you want some more LSD?" "Yeah, I think I do."
Oh my goodness!
So,
and then towards the end, Dewey finally kind of sees the error of his ways, and he sees that he's been a shitty father.
Mm-hmm.
And which is prompted by just one of his kids, one assumes many Dewey Cox Juniors, and they're all shows up to play catch.
Yeah, they all have names based on Dewey. So there's like Deweyna, Dewey Jr., Dewdrop, Dewford,
Dewletta, I'm pretty sure.
Dewletta, yeah, stuff like that.
And so then he goes through this montage of playing catch.
It's like, I need to spend more time. So all he does is just play catch with them, and the next thing you know, it transitions to him helping them with their homework on Macbeth, riding around in a giant bus with all the kids. And what I love is when this is happening, they're playing the theme to the Partridge Family, of all things. The 1970s traveling family band show is the music they use for it. So, that's where it starts to transition from Dewey being this washed-up 70s hack with a crappy variety show, a la Sonny and Cher, to the, let's call him, more content version where he's older and mostly just wants to spend his retirement with his kids. Yeah. And he reunites with Darlene, who apparently married Glenn Campbell, of all people. So,
and then, I forget though, spoilers a little bit, he gets his sense of smell back. I forget what causes it.
They come to terms with himself and reuniting with Darlene, and then he can smell her hair.
"You washed your hair today? I can smell it." And then it results in another joke that I think is too gross for me. where he goes around smelling
everything.
Oh,
right?
Including shit.
Yep.
I mean, I get the joke, but that's just one I just don't find as funny.
Well, he even mentioned it. He's like, "Oh, this is the almost worst thing I've ever smelled.
Oh, it's
but
terrible.
I can still smell it though."
Yes. And again, I get the joke. I just don't think that one particularly is funny.
No.
But yeah.
That was one of those things that didn't need to happen. He could have went around smelling flowers or had like a quick
It could have been a skunk.
or a
seriously.
garbage can. It didn't have to be put his face right in a big pile of poop and just take deep breaths.
Yeah, and then it transitions from there to where one of the Jewish record executives' grandkids, played by, I forget.
Simon Helberg.
Yeah, Howard from The Big Bang Theory. I forget the actor's name, but thank you. Shows up playing Mr. L'Chaim's grandson. And yes, every one of them has very, very stereotypically Jewish
not
slang
even
names.
Jewish names, just Jewish words. Yeah.
Yes, his name is like Dreda L'Chaim or something like that. And so it shows the fact that he sold Dewey's songwalk card to this rapper named Lil Nutsack.
Oh,
Nutsack.
Constant Little Nutsack. Quite a package.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's revealed, though, that this return in popularity, they want to give him the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
They don't say what it is, but they lead you to believe it's the Grammys.
Yeah.
Wants to give him a Lifetime Achievement Award, and that brings us back to the very beginning of the movie where he was reflecting on his
back on his whole life.
life.
So he got to today, and he's ready, and then
Ready to go.
and 71-ish, I think it was his age, 71-year-old.
71 to 73.
Yeah,
Somewhere in his early 70s.
Yeah, early 70s. Dewey Cox, he gets up there and he performs the masterpiece he's been working on called "Beautiful Ride,"
which I think is probably the best song in the movie.
I agree. It's hard to focus on because the visuals are mostly occupied by flashbacks to things that did not happen in the film.
Or if they did, we didn't see them or are seriously altered.
Yeah. So it's just very. So yeah, I didn't really catch the song until I listened to the soundtrack later, and I focused a lot on "Beautiful Ride." It's legitimately good. Heartwarming song for the end of the film, for the end of a life.
I mean, I personally believe if this film had been more successful commercially, this could have been the song that got Walkart into the Oscars for Best Song.
Yeah, I agree.
If it had been more successful, but it, of course, was not. And I'm still bitter about that. But what I really loved about the end of the movie, when they're at this award ceremony, is just the sheer amount of celebrity cameos.
Yeah, in the audience.
They get Ghostface Killer, they get Jewel, Lyle Lovett, Jackson Brown, Eddie Vedder, and what I personally love, and what I think is probably one of the best jokes, just to hire an R&B and Motown legend. After Dewey says to Sam he doesn't want erectile dysfunction medicine, he doesn't want to be tempted by the temptations, you hear, "My girl, the temptations!"
He runs off.
The idea that they hired the Temptations just for that one stinking show.
It was worth every penny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I freaking love. Again, that is probably my. That probably is my favorite joke in the movie, followed by the "something's happening here" joke. Because just again the idea that they got all these people to pretend to pay homage to a fake rock star, it's actually very impressive. It really, really is.
Yeah. And I will say that the cameo of celebrities in the audience too does ruin that song, like you said before, because you're trying to pick out people and they're like, "Oh,
and we're not
Led Zeppelin."
Well, we're not entirely sure that they're actually real. They're probably all celebrity impersonators, but you do get glimpses of like Edith is there with her much younger new boyfriend or husband. One of his managers. They never really explained what David Krumholtz's character's
David
job
Crowley.
is.
He's a manager of some sort. But there's there's one point where Dewey he's looking up and the ghosts of his mom and pa and his brother are there, and then his manager in the audience
is just bobbing along.
Choke on something? Yeah. Or
he just has a heart attack.
He has a heart attack, and he joins the ghosts that
he
are
just
there
walks
watching
on
over him. Yeah.
Like the Force Awakens within him.
Exactly. It is exactly a joke about the end of Return of the Jedi. With all the ghosts just showing up. Except Hayden Christensen's not in this one. So, yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
That is not disrespect to Hayden Christensen. I want to point out that is disrespect to the remastered BS that they put in it.
Yeah.
Just want to make that clear.
But
yeah, it really is just quite hysterical how they managed to wrap this entire film up. Only for it to climax after he finishes the song.
Masterpiece, and then we get a subtle to get the subtitle. Dewey Cox died 3 minutes after this performance.
And I guessed it. When we were watching, I was like, I bet he's going to die, like, right at the very end of his song. And he's like, wait, no, not the end.
Yeah, it goes from him, like, saluting everyone, saying goodnight.
Waving by,
and then...
heart attack right on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, at least he did what he wanted to do.
Yeah, he finally finished that masterpiece he always wanted, but it is pretty hysterical how it ends, because, again, that is so common with the idea that it's like, here's so-and-so, here's the end of their career, and they give one last great performance. You're kind of expecting them to die as soon as they finish that performance at the end of those movies.
What we didn't see is there is a post-credit scene that claims it's footage of the real Dewey Cox, and it's just black and white footage of John C. Reilly.
But no, the ending of after he dies after his song makes me think, I forget the famous drummer's name, who performed his drum solo while having a heart attack and then walked off stage and continued to have a heart attack. I forget. There's a famous drummer out there who that happened to him.
I mean, I can think of a lot of famous drummers, but I'm not sure which one that may have been.
I don't know that story.
I wonder if it was. I have to wonder if it was someone like Gene Krupa or Buddy Rich or someone like that.
I'll probably Google it after this. But yeah, it gives me that, like you said, that feeling of that, and during that song, which I think it was great that it kind of went that way, that he ended up dying at his masterpiece, because it really cuts it off, makes it succinct. No more Dewey Cox after that.
That kind of is the only way this movie really could have ended.
Yeah, with the it's the whole life of the artist, after all.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and I mean, afterwards, what else would there have been?
Yeah.
Rode off into the sunset.
It was all leading up to him finishing his masterpiece, as he keeps calling it. That really would have been the only way it could have ended.
Oh, it's still so funny.
It really is. It really is. And like I said, this is one of those films that I want more people to know about. Oh. And like I said, it's not just John C. Reilly, but again, I think this is probably some of the funniest I've seen Tim Meadows. And that's just it. Tim Meadows is usually playing the straight man in a lot of these. And this one, he's hysterical. No, he really is.
Dude, every scene that he has with the drug scene, he comes
never
on.
Paid for drugs, not once.
He said that like 3 times.
Yeah, I read there was in the script the band was accusing him of a lot of things, and Tim Meadows actually improvised that all Sam says is, "And you never paid for drugs, not once."
Not once. And you never paid for drugs.
In the end, though, he comes up with it. He doesn't bring him like a big bag of marijuana or something.
Yeah, so halfway through the movie, he ends up alienating all of his band members.
As you do.
Yeah. He slept with his he slept with his second guitar player's wife. And he flat out says, "Hey, I like your girl better. Let's switch." Dewey, this is my wife. Oh, well, this is Charlene. Charlene, this is Dave. And he just takes her. It's like, Dewey, my wife says hello. Asshole.
And then he has a experimental relationship.
He slept with the bass player, right?
So, yeah, Chris Parnell's character, and that's actually one thing that is better explained in the extended cut. In the extended cut, during one of the song sequences, I don't remember which one, it shows him essentially doing the same move with every woman, where she'll drop something and he'll do, "Here, let me help you."
Yeah.
And he keeps doing it, and then he does it with the bass player, which is what they lead you to believe. And it's like, "You slept with my wife, you slept with me too, and I've been really confused about it."
For like the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And you never paid for drugs.
Not once! So yeah, So yeah, it's just one of those things. So when he goes around making amends, like he knocks on their door and they punch him in the face, and then they hug him. And so with Tim Meadows' character, he just gives them this gigantic bag of marijuana to make up for it. No. So yeah, but again, that's probably one of the funniest roles I've seen him do, because more often than not, he has to play the normal one.
Yeah.
Again, the cameos are phenomenal. I was telling them, for like 10 seconds, Jack McBrayer plays a record DJ.
Yeah.
And again, it's like they probably just went around the office at NBC and said, "Hey, Jack, you want to do this for 5 minutes?" Sure.
Goes on set.
Yeah, again, they got a lot of people from The Office. They got Craig Robinson playing a nightclub act that Dewey is actually inspired by.
Yeah.
For people to dance erotically to.
Yeah, that's
For
what
people to
I
dance
forgot about.
People come to dance erotically, they need a clean floor to do it on.
Yeah. Oh man, did they ever? They danced very erotically.
Yes, with the exception of their clothes being on. It pretty much is just the most obvious you can think of.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They need clean floors though.
Yes, so there are so many great cameos. The music is phenomenal. The script is great. I cannot recommend this movie enough if you haven't already seen
100%. But which is still surprising that it didn't do so well in the box office still.
Yeah, I mean, half the time when a movie doesn't do well in the box office, it's really just a crapshoot as to why. Sometimes it's when it's released. Sometimes it's what it's up against. I don't remember what this movie was released against, but when it came out in 2007, 2007 had quite a lot of big movies coming out towards the end of it. So, say it came out like around the same time as a Harry Potter sequel, for example, forget it. No one's going to watch it. So,
very true.
Or, well, actually, I'm trying to remember, when did the first Alvin and the Chipmunks movie come out?
You got me.
But I'm saying if it was around that.
I think 2005.
I'm thinking, I think maybe the reason people didn't see it is because, they already saw Talladega Nights and thought it'd be the same,
Yeah, but true. With no Will Ferrell this time, so which is sad, but also Adam McKay, who co-wrote Anchorman and Talladega, had nothing, I don't remember if he helped produce this, but as far as I know, he's not a creative force in terms of writing or direction.
Well, especially if this came after Step Brothers as well. I don't remember when Step Brothers released.
I want to say this was before Step Brothers, but I don't remember.
I think Step Brothers was after.
But I don't remember.
Because Step Brothers is a very, very, very goofy, silly movie.
Oh yeah.
Way goofier and sillier than this movie, but this one's still so memorable with all of it. Like I said, it's a triple threat movie. You got your singing, you got your dancing, you got your acting. It's all good.
It really is, and like I said, independent of the movie itself, the soundtrack is great.
Oh yeah. You can totally just listen to the soundtrack.
I do just listen to the soundtrack and not watch the movie.
Yeah, because all the songs are just great.
Yes, and again, if you want an example of how to use John C. Reilly right, this is the best example.
And be
hear
surprised.
Me, Hollywood. In fact, if I recall, I do believe John C. Reilly did receive a Golden Globe nomination for this movie, so he got something, I guess, but it really did deserve a lot more credit and a lot more, attention, and so, it's just my mission to try and tell everyone I know, watch this movie. Please watch this movie. If our gushing has not made it clear yet, watch this movie.
100%. 100%. So, but I think that we gushed about it enough, dude.
Walk hard to your local video store.
Life's a race, and I'm gonna walk as hard as I damn well want.
He said the thing. But just please do watch this. This is such a good movie. But
so final rankings.
Did you go first? I forget.
I will go first since I did recommend this movie. So like I said, for a combination of factors, including an absolutely phenomenal performance by John C. Reilly, phenomenal supporting performances from people like Jenna Fisher, Kristen Wiig, Tim Meadows, Chris Parnell, and again, just about everybody else who was working at NBC in 2007, I cannot recommend this movie enough. I cannot stress how funny this movie is. With the exception of one or two jokes that don't hit right for me, may hit right for you, I give this movie an A. I really, really cannot say enough good things about this movie. So it's an A for me.
For me, I'm pretty much the same way, because the things that I harped about, like the nudity and stuff, don't discredit the movie at all. It's just they thought this would have been a good additive to add to the movie. A lot of people think nudity is a good humor anyway. Simpsons did it in their movie, and then certain people also do. So I don't use that as a downplay to this movie. So I'm also going to give it an A, because the jokes in it, the singing in it, the acting in it, all of it was phenomenal. I loved every part of it. Just because the nudity was there, some people think that's a bonus. Some of it's kind of in your face too much, but I don't think it cuts the movie down at all. And good. It's just a good movie.
So what grade would you give it?
Oh, A.
Yeah,
A.
he said it. Yeah. And I don't know, B-. I've seen better, but it was good. It was very good. And yeah, I just want to leave us off with just some of the thoughts from Beautiful Ride. It's about make a little music every day till you die, and that's what I try to do in my life. Just make a little something every day, and it's hard sometimes, but it's
that goes
good,
to
man.
my favorite lyrics in that. Don't you let them fade your colors gray.
Yeah, and also we need I'm gonna get a little cheesy here with you. We always need art, because without art on Earth, we just be E-A-R-T.
I gotcha.
That is so corny. I couldn't help but laugh. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fine. All right.
That's right.
Get it.
That's right up there with Asian with no A's. Sin.
Okay. Sometimes you make me laugh. You have to just completely assault me with unexpectedness.
Yes.
That's what this movie is. Unexpectedness.
Yep. And speaking of Asians, no, that's in fact that's actually a good segue. There's the next time we're doing Aaron's pick, which is The Forbidden Kingdom.
Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
Yeah, I've looked in on it. It's the movie with Jackie Chan and Jet Li in it. I'm sure people were waiting a long time for that. I don't know nothing about either, but it's
as a kid who loves both Jet Li and Jackie Chan, I watched a lot of Jackie Chan's old stuff, all of Rush Hours. I watched a lot of Jet Li's stuff, and when they finally came together to have this movie, it was mind blowing to me. Yeah. So I can't wait to show you guys it.
All right.
That's great.
But yeah.
Great.
But yeah.
All right. So signing off. We'll see you.
Bye.
To support Tapas and learn more, visit our link tree. Tapas and Stuff Productions is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon, including Knight Sadie Allen.